Welcome back everybody, and we're here today in the Finnish Bank unit, and we're joined with Srini and also Mr. Mukhtar. Now Mr. Mukhtar is a gentleman that approached me via LinkedIn following an extensive search, which I shall let Mr. Mukhtar describe to you, his process to find his new business premises. So welcome, Mr. Mukhtar, and thank you very much for joining us in your fabulous new premises. I'm stunned, impressed, and what a fantastic accountancy practice you have here. And so, Mr. Mukhtar, you reached out to me via LinkedIn as you were looking to make your practice more established. Now, you've already been trading for 19 years, so what was it that made you decide now was the time to move, and what were the hurdles that you overcame in finding these premises?
Hi Srini, as I was saying earlier to both yourselves, like you said, I've been established in Kettering and Northampton for almost 2 decades now, and I've moved offices from one to another, and I was really looking for something more permanent and to have a permanent presence to take me through to retirement, which is hopefully 20 years time. So I was looking for a lease and a permanent presence to service the local clients that I have. And as you said, I did try the local estate agents to look for premises, but it's not as easy as we'd like to think. I'm a very fussy and particular person, and I tried the local Hadlands, chartered surveyors, estate agents, and a few others. And they did show me around some properties, but for some reason or other, they were not suitable. Some were too busy, some were too quiet, some too big, small. I just didn't feel comfortable in any of the sites that I was shown. And then I just thought, okay, I'll snoop through LinkedIn one day. You came up as having 30 connections in common. So I pinged you to see, do you have anything available? And surprise, surprise, Srini, 2 days later, he said, I'm in town, pop in and see me. And it all started there, the love affair. And I came to see him, and a very charming gentleman that you are. You told me about this project that you have. And to be honest with you, I looked at it and I thought it wasn't suitable. It looks shabby, it looks derelict, it looks unfinished, and it just didn't look suitable to take occupation. Yeah. But as Andrew, you explained, this is what you do, you're into development, and you can create it to what I need, bespoke it. And I was really impressed. And we had a few conversations and stuff, and then Andrew or his team, somebody sent me this by email as an example of what the layout could look like.
So was it your layout?
No, who did that, Andrew? Someone in your office?
That would have been somebody in the team, yeah.
They just asked me, what sort of thing do you want? And I said, I need a private room, I need a reception, I need a waiting area, and I need a boardroom. A boardroom, to be honest, I didn't use too much, but where I was in KG Business Centre, I was having to pay to use that separately. Mm-hmm. And they produced this layout, and I was a bit amazed. And I said, okay, if you can create that, and I am looking for something immediately, it's not the long-term plan. I was on the market looking for a place. And lo and behold, weeks went by and they created all of these partitions and all the infrastructure. It was done. And even during the construction, if you like, or the fitting out process, they were asking me all the time, what kind of image do you want? What kind of frontage do you want? And it was like I didn't have to do any of the hard work, and from the blinds to the paint and stuff, someone very helpful said we can take your corporate green, go to B&Q, get the paint for you. So as you can see, the wall behind you and some of the other walls, they painted them in my corporate green, which was very handy. And even the lettering and stuff, they've designed it very nicely. This is what the mock-up was like. And we're sitting there, it's a reality a few weeks later. Really impressed.
So why did you move from your old premises?
I moved because I wanted something permanent. KG Business Centre is a lovely site. You have the added resources of the reception, and that's really helpful for a sole trader. And the toilet facilities, conference facilities, you can scale up and down. But having been there best part of 3 years, I'd sort of outgrown it, and I wanted something more permanent, to have a presence on the high street where clients can relate to a sign and know that I'm there permanently.
You've been trading 19 years and you've built up quite a reputation as a forward-thinking commercial accountancy practice in this area, and I believe you host board meetings for your clients here and bring the local bank managers into your premises and hold tripartite meetings with them. Do you feel that this space, with its centrally located position and very prominent location, will benefit your business in the long term?
Yes, hopefully. As I said, I used to hire the conference room at KG Business Centre. They had ample parking, but we also have parking available here, limited time parking. And yeah, I do have board meetings where 2 or 3 or more directors have to come and sign the accounts in front of me, or bank finance meetings, or mergers, acquisitions, anything that's going on. Lots of clients prefer to have the meetings here with my presence. Not so much the boardroom, it's my presence, but having a boardroom somewhere to sit and have a meeting does help. And it's nice to have my own space, not have to hire it separately.
So you're, if I can just touch on, you're quite a wide-scoping accountant there, because you do their accounts, you do their tax advice, you do mergers and acquisitions as well. So I mean, your practice, with being in this prominent business district in the business improvement corridor of Northampton, is going to do quite well with it, with the neighbours being solicitors, other firms of accountants, insolvency practitioners. So with all the professional services, you should sort of support each other, I imagine.
Yeah, you're very right, and you'd be surprised to know the local insolvency practitioner, the BRI, which is down the road, they did find me on LinkedIn and ping me to say, let's have a coffee as soon as you're settled. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but I did reply and say, yep, as soon as I'm settled, I will have a coffee with you. He's on LinkedIn. And you introduced me to the solicitors next door, Mr.
Yes.
Who, a lovely chap in shorts the other night. He came in after hours. Yeah, I'm looking forward to working with the local community. We do have referrals coming back and forward.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Excellent. So you're feeling well settled in the area, even though you've only been here a very short space of time.
Yeah, I know the area very well. Yeah, I've just moved in, but it's home for me.
I was just going to ask you, but in the current climate post-COVID, when businesses are shutting up right, left, and centre, people are going for a very short lease. And you signed a lease for this premises for 20 years. What's the thinking behind that?
It's a good question. So I signed a long lease. Well, it was actually negotiated. I found Andrew very flexible in the whole lease and the discussion stage. The experience I had with other estate agents was very rigid. They send you an email, these are the terms, what the landlord dictates, like it or not. And I've been established in Northampton for 20 years, and I think any person who speaks to me personally will realise that, you know, a personal conversation is worth a lot more than terms in an email. And that's exactly what Andrew did. He had a conversation, and we did end up with a long lease. And the long lease is due to the understanding that you have a landlord who's sensible, flexible, understanding. And you know, a lease does offer security of tenure. I am looking not to move again until I retire, hence the 20 years. I do want a permanent presence. So it fits perfectly. And with regards to the condition, the climate at the moment, I suppose that's reflected in the market value. Andrew has been very flexible to get me in. I won't mention any figures, but they have assisted in the finances to make it fit both parties.
Not complaining, you know, mutually beneficial for both parties, and it gives you security for your business, and we have a long-term tenants with less maintenance issues. So yeah, we are very grateful to have you as well. But thank you for that.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I hope it's the start of a good relationship.
Well, I love to see your business flourish, and I'm sure if anybody in the audience is looking for an accountancy firm to support them, you particularly focus on local small businesses, that you will reach out to Mr. Mukhtar. He's here in the Wheaton Road area of Northampton, very close to the Aldi or the Saints rugby ground, and he would be delighted for local businesses to approach him to be his client. Is there a particular type of demographic of client that you like, or?
To be honest with you, over the last 2 decades, I've got barristers, solicitors, dentists, restaurants, retail. There is no set demographic. Accounts are accounts. I haven't specialised in one type of accounts. I've always been open to the community, whether they have a tax investigation, whether they're struggling, whether they're looking to grow, move, whether it's just compliance work. I've dealt with everything. I've been helpful to clients as they have been supportive of me. Again, it's a two-way relationship.
Well, it's been a pleasure and a delight working with you on this project, and it brought a tear to my eye to see you moving in here and the finish of everything, and just how grateful and satisfied you are having moved in.
Yeah, I'm overjoyed. It's literally making a piece of paper come to life. It's it's a unique skill, and it's amazing how literally is something on a screen. This is what I saw.
But
and
on
now
that
it's real
note,
life.
instead of looking at the paper, can you show around?
Yeah, please have a look around. And I'm just amazed at how the different areas have worked out. The partition is still in work in progress. That will be finished off, but everything else is good to go.